If I made a tier list of the most difficult brawlers to master, Fang will definitely be on top. I cannot tell you how many days I've spent trying to use him, and one day I lost like 50 trophies in a row. But it's strange because before I hit like 700 trophies, I was doing really well with Fang, and then all of a sudden I was getting my ass clapped. But granted, I was only playing solo Showdown, and although I am going to do that in this video, I'm also going to play Gem Grab. But first, going over my loadout, I'll be using Roundhouse Kick for my gadget, my first gear is Shield, my second is Health, and for my star power I'll be using Divine Souls. With that said, we'll start off with 2 matches of solo Showdown. So Fang is a rather interesting brawler because he technically has 2 types of attack. The first is his melee attack, which does the most amount of damage but also has the shorter range. The second, of course, is his long range attack that does less damage. Now it's important to keep in mind that unlike most brawlers, it doesn't matter how much damage you do as Fang, because as long as you can get like 4 successful hits on a brawler, then your super gets fully charged. Now that may sound good and all, but this actually brings me to one of the worst things about Fang. It's the fact that his little aiming path reticle thing does not extend to his long range attack. So if you're trying to attack a brawler that's far away, unless if they're AFK or turn into a statue, you're gonna have a tough time trying to hit them. And that's not even mentioning the weird hitbox that this thing has, because I swear there have been many times where I thought my hit should have landed, but it just brushes off their shoulder. Now, does all of that make him a bad brawler? No. I mean, it sure as hell doesn't make him easy to use, but in my opinion, he's far from being bad. You see, the thing about Fang, along with other assassin brawlers, is that unless if you're confident in your abilities, you shouldn't try to be aggressive while using them. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't attack when given the chance, but definitely avoid as much damage as possible because, of course, assassin brawlers don't have that much high health. It's actually one of the reasons why Mortis is so difficult to play. His attacks are just too aggressive and they don't allow that much strategy. Speaking of strategy, I tried to attack this El Primo with my super, but I completely missed and he just yeeted me over. But at least I got second place. Now we'll be moving on to Gem Grab, and the only thing I'll be changing in my loadout is my gadget. So instead of Roundhouse Kick, I'll be using Corn Fu instead. Great. Now I'm starting to lag like I'm in a Black Ops 1 server. Thanks, Supercell. Okay, I sort of maybe forgot to record my gameplay, so I'll just be showing the replay. Anyways, the reason why I chose Corn Fu instead of Roundhouse Kick is mainly because of this. Having the ability to control the center, even if it's just for a few seconds, it can be very useful. I actually said something similar in my Ruffs video, which you should definitely check out, specifically on his air support gadget, which although isn't really practical at dealing damage, can be really good as a distraction. However, I think Fang's gadget is a lot more useful, not only because of the spread, but also how fast it deploys, such as here, where I was able to use it against Jean before he could use his super. And just like that, we were able to win the first match. So Fang should be treated like, well, any other assassin brawler, where it's not about how much damage you do, but rather finding the right opportunity. I'm sure most people would try to use his super to attack multiple brawlers, but this isn't really a good idea. Fang is still very much vulnerable and his super doesn't really do all that much damage. Besides, I didn't really do all that well in this match because their team were heavy hitters, but this Draco man, he was carrying us hard, and thanks to him we were able to win. So in my opinion, I think Fang is still a brawler that requires more skill than usual, and that just really comes down to his attacks and how precise you have to be. You know, it's not like Piper where she can hit you instantaneous. This involves a lot more guessing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, a lot of brawlers do involve that type of gameplay, but it's a lot more obvious with Fang. Regardless, I think he's still a good brawler, especially on Gem Grab. But anyways, have a good day.